you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I've documented on this channel many times, I've talked about the creepy clown sightings that have been going on and how I believe it is a psyop, one in which our government is fueling the fire with, pushing this through the media, pushing this all over the place. Now I've talked about how it's spread worldwide. Well, recently, today actually, Target has decided that they're no longer going to be selling clown masks. Yes, the ridiculousness of this entire thing gets more ridiculous. Target is pulling all clown masks off of its shelves and out of its online store after sightings of quote-unquote menacing clowns across the country. Now, this is just adding fuel to the fire and the speculation about these clown sightings, like I've talked about. Okay, this whole thing started with two people trying to lure kids into the woods, and it's spread across America. There barely have been any actual arrests. There have been no real crimes reported. There's been, obviously, the only people who are arrested are people who have been pulling hoaxes and doing stuff to get the police's attention, and then they arrested them for a hoax. But as far as the other end goes, hearing about clowns attacking people and all this stuff, there aren't arrests going on. There aren't any reports of these things actually going through. So they're creating and adding to the psyop by having Target. Obviously, we know, who owns Target and all these guys who own these massive chains like Target and Walmart. Obviously, they're all elitists. Okay, obviously, they're all going along with whatever they're supposed to go along with, just like we've seen Target add the transgender bathrooms to their stores. I mean, absolutely ridiculous stuff that Target does. But now they are really just adding to the speculation. So even though we aren't seeing any actual murders, we aren't seeing actually any crimes go on, even though there have been reports where schools have been shut down and things like that because of hoaxes that have occurred, we have Target adding fuel to the speculation, saying that given the current environment, Target's spokesman Joshua Thomas said, "We have made the decision to remove a variety of clown masks from our assortment, both in stores and online. We are against any usage of a clown masked persona to terrorize the general public." So what this does by them taking this off of the shelves, okay, this adds to what's going on. You've heard it probably calm down a little bit recently. There hasn't been as much talk about the creepy clowns showing up in the sightings, and anything that you hear that does come out, it's always the same story, right? A clown showed up in someone's lawn. The person called 911. The clown escaped. The clown attacked somebody apparently and escaped in the middle of the night. No arrests were made. No fingerprints. No finding of these people running around dressing as clowns. And by having Target pull their masks from their shelves, they're adding to the hysteria and adding to the psyop that's going on out there. Obviously, people are going to say, well, how are they doing that? Because they're losing money by taking their clown masks off the shelves. Well, for starters, they don't care about money because these elitists do what they're told. They're always going to have money on top of money on top of money, which is what they do want, but they want more than that. And when you're part of the brotherhood, you do as you're instructed. So this is more of the ridiculousness that goes on in our world. Okay, we're hearing about it now happening in the UK and happening in Australia. It's popping up everywhere. Now clown masks can't be sold. And people did message me about this early on. And they said, listen, what they felt, the reason behind it was that they wanted to ban masks so that people couldn't hide under masks, so that we can have these face recognition devices reading people's faces all of the time, and you can't really go missing or anything like that. So people have been saying that they believed early on that this psyop was to make sure that masks were actually taken off shelves and banned. So they could be right on the money with this, as we see Target now doing it, and I'm sure the hysteria will spread, and the next thing you know, Walmart will pull masks. Other places will take masks off the shelves, and it'll spread, it'll grow. This thing gets more ridiculous by the week. I mean, I talked about the Clown Lives Matters movement, which was going to be a march, which ended up getting canceled. But the fact that it was discussed, I've talked about these schools getting shut down. I've talked about how, we have people dressing up as Batman, okay, in the UK, dressing up as vigilantes to stop clowns from stalking people. So we have people dressing up now as Batman, wearing a mask, running around and chasing down clowns. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. And what happens here is you have Target just adding to all of this insanity by pulling masks from the shelves. And I guarantee you, this is just the beginning of this. You'll hear it from other places. You'll hear it from other stores. Okay, they won't allow people to dress up as clowns, I guess, on Halloween. And the whole thing is obviously a part of their agenda. The White House wouldn't have been talking about it. Okay, the press secretary at the White House would not be answering questions about something that there is really no proof that it's going on for the most part. I know there's people who are copying the hoax. Like I've said, they put the seed in people's head. They keep pushing it, and then people will emulate it. They will copy it and go out there and dress up as clowns and run around trying to scare people as a prank. But what they're trying to say is that we have people running around killing people as clowns, attacking people. There is nothing that's shown up that's actually been, there's no evidence that's been provided that people are being arrested, okay, for doing this, other than the people who are pulling the hoaxes. So the White House wouldn't address it unless they wanted to address it, unless it was deliberately, because the questions that get asked to the press secretary at the White House are stage planned questions, okay? Me and you can't get in there and ask him a question, because if we could, then we'd really ask him some serious questions, right? What about Sandy Hook? Do you want to show us a body? What about September 11th? You want to talk about that? You want to talk? I mean, there's so many things, right? Obviously, everyone in that room has questions that are already written out and prepared beforehand, so they know what they're going to be asked. So they wanted that to be asked there, and they want it to be on every local affiliate. They want it to be there. Every single small affiliate channel, NBC New York, NBC New England, NBC, whatever state it is, Arizona, all pushing the same topic. Ooh, clowns have arrived in the town. This is part of a bigger agenda. This PSYOP is not only about fear and creating panic. Obviously, it's, there's many things that go into their PSYOPs. A lot of it, obviously, is all about mind control. And by doing this, what they've done is they've created this gigantic PSYOP of mind control, and they're watching people copycat it. They're watching people emulate it and do it, and that's what they want. But there's still more to it. There's still more to it. And it's not a marketing ploy for the movie It. Okay? And people who, suggested this might very well be 100% right now after hearing this about Target, that they don't want people wearing masks. They don't want people hiding their faces. Okay? This is all, a prelude to everybody having to be under face recognition and face scanners and things like that. So we're seeing this happen now, and who knows how much more, it's going to spread. But Target's the first one to announce that they've officially pulled clown masks from the shelves, as they say, even though it's Halloween season, and even though they're going to lose money on it, they want to make sure that Americans are safe and that people aren't running around scaring people with these clown masks. Okay, don't buy into it and go, oh, that's really nice of Target for doing that. Oh, maybe the guy who runs Target, maybe he's not one of them. This is all part of a bigger plan. Everything that they do is part of a bigger plan. So with masks being pulled off the shelves, it's leading to something else. And I'm telling you, the people who said that and suggested that about face recognition, it's looking very likely that is part of this PSYOP and part of what they want. The banning of masks, the banning of doing stuff like this. So we'll see how far this escalates. We'll see what other stores start, pulling clown masks. And sooner or later, they may pull all masks and say, listen, we're having a problem. People are hiding their faces and all this stuff. This is all what they want. So I wanted to report on that, since I've done my best that I can do to report on this clown hoax, this clown PSYOP, I should say, that's going on. I've tried to keep people posted. I know not everyone's interested in it, but you have to understand, this is a government PSYOP. This is part of it. This isn't just a random thing going on. I'm not saying the people who actually are out there dressing up as clowns are CIA agents or anything like that. I'm saying that this is a gigantic PSYOP as far as mind control goes, and convincing people to copycat it, go out and do it, because they have something else in mind. Otherwise, the fact that nothing comes up and no real evidence comes up, and the fact that all we hear about every day is about these creepy clowns should tell you, okay, well, if no one's getting arrested and nothing's going on, then why are we hearing about it every day? Because they want you to. That's why the mainstream media is reporting on it. That's why you're hearing it spread. That's why Target is pulling clown masks. All part of a greater plan. And I thank you for listening to today's show. Stay safe. God bless all of you and your families.